Deltarune is the alternate reality of Undertale, of whom many artists created works both safe for work and not safe for work. Except that today's video focuses on the latter part, and that of a popular artist in the fandom. Well, before they left the fandom, of course. This is the story of DitchuArt and the shaming of the girlfriend over Deltarune not safe for work. Hello, I'm Dovin, and let's dive into the story. Before we start, of course, you shouldn't attack anyone mentioned in this video, as that doesn't help anybody. If you have something to say, just leave in the comments and argue with each other over there. Right after you like and subscribe, that'd be a good thing to do. April 17, 2025, Twitter artist DitchuArt posted an apology tweet that, at the time of writing, garnered 8 million views and about 3,700 quote tweets. We're first gonna go over the post itself and roll backwards to see what may have caused this tweet, because it didn't come out of nowhere. Also, YouTube is a visual medium, so if you can stop drawing every once in a while and pay attention, look over and be like, oh, that's an important thing to look at, that'd be nice. So do that right now. Also, I'll be at MomoCon 2025 this year as a guest. And of course, before we get into anything, I'm completely fine with not safe work, in general. I know it's a weird thing to mention, but previously people were like, hey, this guy doesn't like it. It's just man, just get out of the way, I guess. To start off page 1, DitchuArt wants to address concerns about her and their girlfriend, Mendez, who is another artist on Twitter and Newgrounds. This post is going over the unfortunate situation about their not safe work account. She doesn't mention the actual name of Mendez's account for fear of minors finding it, despite telling people in their own bio where to find their own not safe work card. Moving on. A friend contacted her about old tweets and commissions sent by their girlfriend featuring the Deltarune cast doing not safe work stuff. She wanted to make it very clear she doesn't sympathize nor defend anything that Mendez did, calling it a mistake. She had actually found out about the not safe work account years ago on her own and didn't agree with the drawings and just moved on, but she apparently regrets this. On page 2, she explains she used to draw suggestive art of the same characters, but she regrets it, saying that it won't happen ever again. Further saying that she tries her best to not draw characters that shouldn't be drawn in that way. Yeah. Mendez previously promised that she wouldn't do it again and that they were young. I don't know the actual age of any of these people or how long ago this was, so it's kind of I don't know. Take with that what you will. She goes on to say that Mendez changed and doesn't hold her past mistakes against her. They talked it out privately and they sort of moved on. But then it happened again. Her friend contacted Ditchu and so she confronted Mendez again. Oddly enough, they claimed that Mendez blocked the person who tried to warn them on Ditchu's account. I'm not sure if this is a thing that happened online, she gave them passwords, or when they were visiting each other, they did it physically. I don't know. A bit weird, I would say. So they told Mendez to delete their not safe for account for good, so that this won't happen again. Ditchu apologizes to anyone disgusted, hurt, misled by her posts, as well as the fact that Ditchu didn't make the situation clear to people they talk to daily. On the last page, Ditchu mentions they want to keep this private, but it became important to address to anyone concerned. They will be trying to work this out with Mendez, as she wants her to change and stop this. Ditchu also mentions she'll be leaving the Deltarune Undertale fandom, as the art is more mature and suggestive. They don't want to submit their works to a younger audience, and anyone below 18 should not follow her. They ended by saying they're sorry to everyone, they don't expect people to believe them, or for people to forget. Mendez would tweet a day later saying that no, they didn't break up, no, Ditchu is not abusive, and they've been together for 6 years. She even helped them write the pages, and Ditchu did not throw them under the bus. So that was a lot, and honestly a bit silly overall to go over, and really truly get worked up about, really, this is what you want to get worked up about? From the outside, it looks like a person putting their partner on blast for Deltarune porn. Ditchu paints it as a war crime that Mendez made terrible mistakes, she needs to stop being part of these awful things. And it's to note that Ditchu was apologizing on behalf of Mendez. So far, she isn't the one apologizing, I guess. Again, it kind of just looks like, sorry, my girlfriend's just an awful, terrible person who keeps doing awful, terrible things. And don't worry, she'll get better. I made them delete accounts so they can never be tempted to do the awful things again. Again, getting them to delete the not safe for account so it won't happen again is a weird thing to do. Not only because it feels like a controlling aspect of the relationship, but that was also a source of income for Mendez. I'm unsure if it was a major percentage in getting money, but no matter what, shaming your partner and taking away any source of revenue is an awful thing to do. Keeping in mind, the major aspect about this revolves around the main characters of Deltarune, specifying Chris, Susie, Rousey, and such, of whom in canon are in high school with vague ages. So perhaps Ditchu is worried that people are calling them and their partner nonce behind their backs. But if that's the case, I'm just gonna go out on a limb that when Mendez saw the commissions they were told to work on, they're like, yeah, these characters are 18, or the artist is like, yeah, they're 18, and they just moved on. There's that whole discussion of 18 plus characters and depictions of them, let's say for another video, one of the comments if you want to argue about it. But they're essentially implying that their partner participated in nonce behavior, or just getting into it, I suppose. I'm not quite sure what the issue Ditchu has with them participating in it. That's just kind of what I'm getting from it, I suppose. Regardless, judging from the replies and quote tweets, people really don't care the slightest about this. They care about it, but not the actual not safe for work stuff. Give Me Banhammer had quote tweeted saying, throwing your own girlfriend under the bus and talking bad about her publicly, all because she drew not safe for work of fictional characters. For clout? IMO, your girlfriend is better without you considering how easy you betrayed her. Oh, acting like a raving Trying to Face Hypocrite 2 class. It should probably be clear the things Mendez participated in, which is doing like the sound design of some not safe work. Like I don't believe they actually drew the not safe work themselves. CBT001 would tweet, "You publicly shamed your girlfriend for drawing not safe work commissions and tried to force her to delete her account while pretending to be a Puritan. Yet you consistently drew horny bait for months and loved when your followers thirsted after your OC. Go fuck yourself." Lastly, Nitron Safe for Work would tweet out, "Dude, you literally used to make Deltarune porn yourself under the pseudonym Desira. You don't want to face the fact you're ashamed of your own decisions. You decided to throw your girlfriend under the bus for doing the same shit you did." Twitter user Stuff, who also made a quote tweet, would do some digging proving Ditchu used to be known as that same Desira. Or Desira? I don't know. An artist who stopped making works around 2023? It's like when they were saying they used to draw the suggestive stuff, I guess that was just 2 years ago when that happened. And since we're on the topic of other accounts, the now deleted account of Mendez was called Glory and Mars Not Safe for Work, which had 14,200 plus followers. At least that's what Google cached before account deletion. Replies to Mendez's tweet would comment the fact that, yes, Ditchu did throw her under the bus. BleachGirls209 replies saying, "I don't care about arguing what is right and wrong with your art. That is for you to figure out. However, your partner is controlling and it is absolutely not okay that he publicly shamed you like this, especially when he does the same thing that he's calling you out for." I would do some more digging to try to figure out what caused all this. I mean, Ditchu did say a friend of theirs talked to them, but surely there's like a call out somewhere about this? And apparently there was one. They got 182 likes, which I only mentioned the likes to show how much support the post got. The views on screen of the tweet don't quite matter because it's not really indicative of how many people actually saw it at the time before DitchuArt made their own posts, but anyway. This call out thread talks about the problematic not safe work stuff. Before we even start, I really dislike the word problematic, as that ever proceeds with like the least worst thing, or it's too soft of a word for the actual worst thing imaginable. But anyway, they start with Mendez or Lorian being not safe work voice actor and sound designer, saying much of the not safe work VA work feature problematic themes such as incest and underage characters. Example of this work would be Chris and Tori are doing it, Tori are jorking it to Chris and Susie, and Rosawi and Lance are not safe work, further saying that her partner Ditchu assisted in covering up her actions. Apparently, the dog splinter person, which is actually an alt account of somebody, DM'd Ditchu, then got blocked by both of them. We went over this before of Ditchu claiming it's actually Mendez who did this, but I really don't know. Lastly, Dog Splinter linked some evidence and ended a post saying not to harass them and to allow them to make a response so you can come to your own conclusions. So this most likely was a post that got Ditchu so worked up that they threw their partner under the bus. To be clear, you can have preferences in what you draw and what you like to see on your timeline. You can even dislike types of not safe work stuff. To see an artist you appreciate the art style of draw something you dislike can be upsetting. Perhaps this is what happened with the Dog Splinter person. Honestly, I'm not sure what to respond to in terms of this call out, like if I was involved in any of this. Like if the Dog Splinter person is like, "Hey, you're doing some weird stuff," and Mendez is like, "Oh, actually all these characters are adults and Tori and Chris are not related, don't worry about that, it's all good." And like, can these animations still be weird to you? Yeah, and you can't tell your friend you don't like seeing it. And the screenshots of the DMs don't actually show what they're concerned about or what was sent to them, as it was just them talking to a friend. Actually, I have a personal case of a mutual friend of mine joined some stuff on the Not Safe for accounts that didn't want on my timeline anymore. I just DM'd them saying unfollow their Not Safe for accounts because I'm not into that stuff, but I still like their other art. They were cool with it, and we sort of just moved on pretty easily, I would say. But to pull back a bit and think about it from Ditchu's perspective, perhaps they thought there was a growing idea, like in their community or friendship, that people were assuming them and their partner were nonces, like they liked kids or something. And so they panicked to make this post and be like, no, we don't like any of that, we don't like any of that. And perhaps when Mendez saw the message from the mutual friend, like, this narc, who really cares? And they just blocked them. Of course, understanding the possible reasons doesn't make this post 100% okay. It's just, in situations like this, it's better to try to figure out how one came to these conclusions. And as a result of this, it does put a strain on the relationship of these two, even if in the moment Mendez says they will be fine. Maybe they will be, maybe they won't be. But I think if my partner called me out saying, "I'm sorry everyone, my partner is just such a terrible person doing not safe work stuff, they will get better, I cut off their money supply, and they're very popular account, they're not going to hurt nobody anymore." It'd be something that like I think about every once in a while, going like, why did they do that? Nothing, of course, that Mendez would keep doing this not safe for commission stuff behind Ditchu's back, so at some level they knew their partner didn't like it, but they needed the money. Not only that, this stuff kind of gets attached to you forever. There's a possibility that someone will forever comment, "Hey, aren't you the artist who threw the girlfriend under the bus because of Deltarune porn?" Which, if you go to DitchuArt's newest YouTube video, you will see comments mentioning it. Also notes is the fact that they heavily ingrained themselves in the Deltarune Undertale fandom. On the YouTube channel, their most popular animations, ones that I've been showing on screen every here and there, are that of Undertale and Deltarune. So to try and separate is throwing aside a fandom that hoped to get popular, which leaves a fan base disappointed for yet another reason. In the end, I'm unsure why Ditchu made this post, not say, I don't know, the partner Mendez? But what I do know is ask my audience what they thought about the situation. As long as the said mutual is over 18, making that art in a separate account and not interacting with minors, I'd be fine with it. I already don't get people who overreact and be like, "You draw eggplants and peaches?" as if it's an illegal thing to do. Which is ironic since there's always been people who have drawn that kind of stuff since the dawn of humanity. I mean, I get there are many weirdos online and that not safe for work art can get you into really big problems, but from my experience, I've met not safe for work artists who are some of the most talented and respected people I've ever seen, whether they make commissions to pay rent or just doodle freely because they feel like it. I say this especially as someone who sometimes doodles not safe for work stuff in a dedicated account. It genuinely helped me get better at drawing more atomically correct bodies and figuring out my sexuality. Lol. So yeah, if someone wants to draw spicy stuff, let them do it and don't make a big fuss about it. Thumbs up emoji. As long as they don't interact with minors or draw characters who are confirmed to be below the age of consent, or drawing them doing immoral or illegal stuff. Underage characters are off limits when it comes to not safe for work artwork, period. Even if it isn't technically illegal, like some people want to argue, if people can't understand why that type of artwork would make others uncomfortable and grossed out, then you might want to do some thinking. Furthermore, people act as if the issue was the act of drawing the not safe for work in general was bad, and thought Ditchy was being hypocritical because she also made not safe for work content, when the issue is the characters being depicted, not the act of drawing not safe for work itself. I've also seen many people calling Ditchy abusive as a result of the situation, when that's just a stitch and a half. The overall negative reaction to the situation is really cemented that people on Twitter would throw around words like abuser at other people all willy-nilly, but when it comes to genuine real-life abusers, their mouths are suddenly shut and zipped. I just don't have mutuals. All right, maybe you should get some mutuals. I personally do like the serious tone of this, like all of this. The locked comments and white on black text brings a tone of grave importance and admission of great error. Has someone been hurt? Mistakes from Bass been addressed, or perhaps an admission of harm? I then read it and it being about Undertale not safe for work. I felt so embarrassed for caring at all. What is this? Like, is this for real? I thought perhaps someone's likeness was used, so I reread it. No, this is just fictional IP characters. I don't want to be old man yelling at sky, but like, how old are these people? Not the characters, like the artists. I can't contain how much of a nothing burger this all is. You don't want to make not safe for work characters as safe for work characters, you know, more power to you. It's good to know your boundaries of fiction, but to make such announcements feels just such like schoolyard drama, like primary school. Like I would shrug it off if it was not draped in the clothing of accountability. I could see why people would be angry, presented more casually or like a regular tweet. I don't think anyone would care. To me, the self-seriousness is not deserved, makes anyone of critical thinking embarrassed for being made to care for this. It's one of those situations that really gets you thinking about stuff. Like it's a real chin scratcher, I'll tell you what. It delves into the idea of shame and guilt regarding past actions, or even someone close to you, and how it feels to be perceived in a community, while also touching on the taboo subjects such as not safe for work and what characters are off limits, or say even just aging up the characters, I guess. I think in this situation, I kind of don't care. Well, I care, but I don't care. Like I mentioned before, I don't believe Mendez took part of the not safe for work animations with the mindsets the characters' ages. Perhaps if it was a case where the artist said, actually these characters are specifically not of age, then that'd be like a weird thing to be a part of and be rightfully something to talk about with your partner privately. But again, I just don't think that was the case. I think they just participate in the animation thinking nothing of that, just needing the money. But in the end, I can't believe we spent all this time and energy talking about Deltarune not safe for work. But this video is coming to a close, so maybe we can do something more productive. How about you draw your OCs and maybe post them online somewhere? That'd be nice. Or like how my friend Deb drew my OC Samantha, and she did a very good job, I would say. Take a look. Wow. Or like how I went to the Switch 2 experience near me and had a fun time playing a console and even got to see Man. And so next time, keep on drawing. Don't forget to have a great day, because we're gonna try to be positive at the end of this. Just have a great day and keep on drawing. That'd be fun.